Hi, and welcome to another episode of More to Advertising here on Daily Ad Brief. I'm your host, Jeff Swartz. I'm really excited about my next guest. Alan Stein is the CEO and Chief Accelerator Officer at Kadima Careers, who really specializes in accelerating individuals' careers, specifically in the tech space. So I wanted to have him come on and talk about getting, the salary and the position that you want in the ad tech space specifically. So I'm excited to have him on. Thanks for being on the show, Alan.
Thanks a lot, Jeff, for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah. So, you've placed, or not placed, but you've helped people accelerate their careers at companies like Facebook and Google and Twitter and really kind of get the most bang for their buck and get them into a place that they're happy and that they want to get to. With a lot of the news saying a lot of things about layoffs at these companies, how has that kind of changed people's trajectory that you work with?
Yeah, Jeff, great question. So it has slowed the process down, and I also encourage people to cast a wider net. But despite all the talk of these job freezes, Google right now has 2,155 jobs open. Meta has 404 jobs open. Apple has 5,173 jobs open. So all these companies, despite the gloom and doom, are still actively hiring, and I'm getting candidates into these great companies every week.
Yeah, and they're also not the only ones. I like that casting a wider net thing. Like you think of these big tech companies, but there's some maybe smaller ones or startups and a lot of other opportunities, right?
The big tech companies hire the most, they pay the most, they treat their employees the best. They're also the hardest and most competitive to get into, but there's great opportunities at smaller companies as well.
And you've helped some people really achieve some really great salaries and positions. What's kind of like your best 101 tip into getting the role that you want at the value that you want?
First off, clearly identify your goals, and with the goals, create a target list of companies. I typically tell people to get at least a target list of 40 companies. Now, with the tighter job market, I'm expanding that to 50, 60 companies. So that helps you to identify your target and then narrow in on that. And then, in terms of once you get that role and then getting that significant bump in compensation, do not talk about compensation until the company makes the offer to you. There's too many clients that I work with, too many friends that I know that shoot themselves in the foot by revealing the compensation that they're currently making rather than allow the company to make the offer. And then you start negotiating the compensation because then the company is telling you that, hey, Jeff, we want to hire you. And then for the first time in the whole process, you then have leverage to negotiate what you deserve.
I like it. That's a great tip. And, one of the things I want to also dive into is you have a couple different tiers of programs and services that your company actually provides to help people get there. You work with those individuals who are getting multi $100,000 salaries, as well as people that are just looking to make maybe, 50 to $100,000 as well too. What does your company actually do? What are those programs?
Yeah. So I help people get great jobs quickly. Right now, the average is 114 days, so a little bit less than 4 months, and with significantly more money, $109,000 more. And the way I help people is I do offer one on one coaching that's high touch, unlimited access to me. And obviously, that is limited to a small portion of people that are committed and can also afford that service. But I created this company to accelerate a million careers, to build a scalable program and system to help support others. So I have an online course that people can do on their own and has all my documentation, all my scripts, all my strategies. That is less than $1,000. That's $997. So those are the two primary ways. And then I plus give away a lot of free resources on our YouTube channel, on our podcast, on our website, because I want to democratize this for everybody across the world. I do want to accelerate a million careers, and I'm not going to be doing that all one on one by myself.
Absolutely. And, we're already out of time, but the one thing that I do want to throw out there is there's like a lot of people that will say if you can't do coach. However, I just want to point out that Alan was actually like the hiring manager at some of these big companies. What were some of the companies? Was it Google or I can't remember quite.
Google, Facebook, Salesforce, Tableau, American Express. So I've had 21, I've been at 21 different companies, had 29 different jobs, and hired hundreds of people. I'm not a recruiter. I was a hiring manager. I was the decision maker of determining who gets hired. And so I kind of know the inside baseball game.
Awesome. I wanted to point that out as well too. That he knows his stuff. He has some great connections, but he can really help you accelerate your career. Alan, thank you so much for being on the show and talking about this with me.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Anytime.
Yeah, and we're going to have Alan's contact information and his company's contact information at dailyadbrief.com as well. So if you're interested in getting that free content that he's talking about or signing up for one of his programs as well too, we'll have that all available on the website. And until next time, again, I'm your host, Jeff Swartz. Take it easy.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.